Imagine for a moment that life itself is not a struggle to be conquered, but a dance to be joined, a vast, intricate rhythm where each pause, each silence, each hardship is but a note in a cosmic symphony. We often think we are pushing against the world, trying to bend it to our will, but perhaps it is the universe nudging us, inviting us to discover the strength we did not know we carried. What if the very resistance you face is not an obstacle, but a sacred instrument tuning you for the music you were born to play? In the stillness of your doubts and in the storms of your challenges, there is a divine choreography at work. One that whispers, push yourself, make it happen. For you are not separate from this unfolding. You are its very expression. And in this realization, you find not just effort, but wonder, the timeless beauty of becoming. Challenges are not barriers, but invitations, the universe flowing through your experiences, shaping you into what you are meant to become. Moments of hardship are not punishments, but silent teachers, preparing you for the music you alone can play in the grand symphony of existence. To push yourself is not to fight against life, but to align with it, to take your rightful step in the eternal dance of becoming. Life does not hand you meaning. You shape it, breathe it, carve it through your choices and actions, participating in the divine unfolding. Every breath, every effort, even the smallest push holds cosmic significance, each a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life's purpose. True power arises when you act with courage yet surrender to the greater flow, trusting that every step is guided by a design larger than yourself. We often live with the idea that life is happening to us, that the world stands on one side and we stand on the other, wrestling with it, pushing against it, trying to make sense of why it resists us so much. But what if that is not true? What if the universe is not an opponent but a partner, not a wall but a current, carrying you where you are meant to go? The struggles you face may feel like friction, but friction is what makes the dance possible. Without it, there is no movement, no growth, no awakening of the strength that quietly waits within you. Think of the ocean. When you swim against its tide, you tire quickly, fighting for every inch. But when you learn to move with the rhythm of its waves, you discover something remarkable. It carries you further than your strength ever could alone. Life is much the same. The challenges that appear before you are not random, nor are they cruel. They are tides, nudging you, shaping you, teaching you how to surrender just enough to flow, yet push just enough to discover the resilience hidden inside you. There's a peculiar beauty in this. The very thing you call resistance may actually be the universe lending you form. Just as clay must be pressed and turned on the wheel before it becomes a vessel, you too are being formed by the pressures and pauses of your life. And so, the moments when you feel stuck, when the path feels unbearably heavy, are not proof of your failure, but proof of your becoming. Consider how a tree grows. It does not argue with the wind, nor does it resent the rain. The bending, the storms, the long seasons of waiting, all of it becomes part of its strength, part of its story. Its roots go deeper because of the struggle. Its branches reach higher because of the storms it endured. In the same way, the universe is not pressing against you. It is pressing you into yourself, shaping you into the person who is ready to carry the weight of your own destiny. So, pushing yourself is not about straining or forcing life to bend your way. It is about aligning with the deeper current, seeing every challenge as an expression of the same grand intelligence that gave you breath. It is about recognizing that you are not a fragment tossed about by circumstance. You are the very movement of the whole, woven into this vast unfolding tapestry. When you realize this, something profound happens. Struggle stops feeling like punishment, and it starts to feel like partnership. Fear begins to dissolve into curiosity. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And instead wonder, what is this shaping in me? What new strength, what new awareness, what new capacity is being born here? That shift changes everything. It is as if you step into the current and suddenly realize that the flow is always carrying you forward, even when you thought you were standing still. The push, then, is not against life, but with it. It is the willingness to step into the rhythm, to trust the silence as much as the sound, to trust the winter as much as the spring. For every season has its place, and every note, whether sharp, soft, or sustained, belongs to the song. And so when you push yourself, remember that you are not forcing life open. You are simply saying yes to the part of the universe that moves through you, urging you to become more than you were yesterday. You are not separate from this unfolding. You are its very expression. We spend so much of our time imagining that life is something we are standing outside of, as though it were a mountain to be climbed or an opponent to be wrestled with. We frame our existence in terms of battles, us against the world, us against circumstance, us against ourselves. And in that struggle, we forget something essential. There is no out there and in here. There is only one movement, and you're a part of it. The universe is not some cold, indifferent backdrop against which you act. It is the very breath you draw, the very heartbeat that carries you forward, the very stage on which your life unfolds. And more than that, it is you unfolding. What feels like resistance in your path is not necessarily there to stop. Think of the way a bow resists before releasing an arrow, or how the strings of a violin resist the bow so they can sing. Without tension, there is no music, no direction, no beauty. In the same way, the universe presses upon you not to hold you back, but to shape the sound of your life, to tune you into harmony with the greater symphony. The pressure you feel is not an enemy. It is a sculptor's hand giving you form. Imagine for a moment that you are standing in a river. If you try to stop the flow with your bare hands, it pushes against you, unyielding, overwhelming. But if you learn to move with its rhythm, the current carries you, supports you, and leads you farther than your strength alone could ever take you. Life is exactly this, an endless current. And though it may seem at times to be rushing against you, its true purpose is to draw you deeper into yourself, to awaken the courage and strength that otherwise would remain hidden. A tree does not argue with the wind that bends it. A wave does not complain about the shore that breaks it. They both yield and resist in their own way, and through that dance they become what they are meant to be. A tree grows taller because storms forced its roots to dig deeper. A wave finds its identity because the shore shapes its form, and you too are being formed in the same mysterious rhythm. The difficulties you face are not interruptions in your journey. They are the very texture of the path, the necessary shaping of your becoming. This is why pushing yourself is not about forcing life to obey your will. It is about seeing that you already belong to a greater movement and your role is to join in with it. To push yourself means to say yes to the current, to step into the rhythm, to discover what lies beyond the small limits of comfort and fear. And when you do, you realize something astonishing. You are not a fragment lost in chaos. You are a note in a grand design, a brushstroke in a cosmic painting, an essential pulse in the heartbeat of the whole. And so the resistance you encounter is not here to defeat you. It is the whisper of life itself saying, arise, step forward, become. The universe is not against you. It is moving through you, calling you into the fullness of who you are meant to be. So often we imagine ourselves as separate from life, as if the universe were something happening over there, and we over here are trying to wrestle with it, to bend it into shape. We think of our lives as a contest. Me against circumstance, me against resistance, me against the unknown. But that way of seeing is only half the truth. If you look closely, you'll see that the very thing you're pushing against is not outside you at all. It is part of you. It is life-shaping you, carrying you, guiding you deeper into your own unfolding. Think for a moment of music. A violin sings not because it is free of resistance, but because the bow meets the string and creates tension. The song emerges from that meeting. Without resistance, there is no note, no melody, no harmony. Oh, harmony. In the same way, the resistance in your life is not there to silence you, but to help you discover the sound only you can make. Every difficulty is a bow across the string of your being, inviting your unique voice to rise into the symphony of existence. Consider the river. If you stand rigid against its current, it feels overwhelming, even cruel. Yet, if you learn to move with it, you discover it can carry you much farther than your own strength would allow. Life is like this current. When you resist its flow entirely, it exhausts you. But when you step into rhythm with it, you find yourself lifted, supported, brought forward into places you could never have reached by force alone. The challenges you meet are not blockages. They are currents redirecting you, refining you, asking you to learn the deeper art of movement with life itself. A tree never curses the wind that bends it. Instead, the bending teaches it balance, makes its roots grow deeper, strengthens its trunk. Without storms, the tree remains shallow and weak, but with them, it becomes resilient, a sanctuary for life itself. So it is with you. The winds of life, the setbacks, the losses, the unanswered questions are not punishments. They are invitations to grow roots deep enough to weather them and branches high enough to reach beyond them. To push yourself, then, is not to fight against the flow of the universe, but to lean into it, to participate, to discover that you are not some fragile fragment cast into chaos. You are the current itself, taking form in the shape of your life. You are the dancer and the dance, the singer and the song. To live this way is to recognize that the universe is not opposing you, but expressing itself through. And every moment of resistance is simply a reminder that you're being sculpted into who you are meant to be. So when you meet the weight of struggle, don't see it as life shutting you out. See it as life calling you in, for the universe is not pushing you back. It is pushing you forward into the fullness of yourself, into the greater whole to which you already belong.